What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, I just got around to watching 24/7, HBO's 24/7, Manny Pacquiao versus Timothy Bradley, episode 2. It was a good episode, solid episode. This one focused more on the storyline, didn't focus on as much just action. But as always, HBO delivers with great imagery, great cinematography. Um, Whoever they have working the camera and then picking the angles, their DP, as they call it, if you know anything about video editing. Um, got some real good stuff. So again, this is more storyline based. One thing that I liked is they talked and expanded on a couple things that have been out there in the public, like the public was aware of, but they kind of you got to hear it firsthand. There's a lot of interviews on Pacquiao. There's a lot of interviews on Bradley out right now because they have a fight coming up. But HBO was able to deliver and talk about some of the subjects that you don't hear on some of those other interviews that are just kind of floating around YouTube. Things like Justin Fortune, he's back in Pacquiao's training camp. They explained that. And I was curious because I know Justin Fortune and Freddie Roach had beef at the time, just like Alex Ariza and Freddie Roach had beef. So I don't know. There might be something. I don't know Freddie Roach personally. So maybe he's hard to get along with or he wants things his way. But anyway, Justin Fortune and him, I believe, had a lawsuit and they had beef with each other. And he left the camp. Pacquiao stuck with Freddie Roach, as you guys know. And they brought him back. In the episode, they talk about that a little bit. And Justin Fortune basically said, we let bygones be bygones. I came back in the camp. He apologized. I apologized. And we agreed to move forward like men. So it's good to see them come together for the greater good for Pacquiao's career. Pacquiao wants to show the world that he's still vintage Pacquiao. The Pacquiao that was running through Eric Morales in the second and third fight. Pacquiao that was running through Marco Antonio Barrera. He wants to show that this is the David Diaz Pacquiao, the guy that beat him, and not just the man of God and kind of calmed down version, watered down version of Pacquiao. So what better way to do that than to channel somebody from your past and then bring them back to the forefront. And they got the strength and conditioning coach that was with them, and they were undefeated together, Freddie Roach, him, and Justin Fortune, while he was in camp. And there was like a 7-year hiatus where they weren't working together after the beef. So it was good to hear that perspective. Another perspective I liked was Timothy Bradley talking about his wife. He talked about his wife, Monica, being his new manager. As you guys know, Cameron Duncan was the manager of Timothy Bradley, and he's a popular manager. He also manages, I believe, Terrence Crawford, and Bradley was using him also. And he got some good fights done for Bradley. But I guess Bradley decided that, keep it in the family, cut out the middleman. We can save an expense, and I can have my wife do it. She's out for my best interest. I hope that partnership goes well, just because I know the game and I know women in general. And I don't know her personally, but just in general, sometimes females tend to think with emotion. So hopefully she's level-headed and she's going to do what's right for his career. Not just, thinking about, this is going to keep him away from his family, so I'm not going to sign on for this fight in Macau, China, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't have any specific examples, and I'm not trying to slander her because I don't know her. But hopefully she thinks with the intent of what's best for my husband's career. Not necessarily like, is this going to keep him away from his family for a time? Because at the end of the day, that's what a lot of boxers have to do. Pacquiao, they also talked about it. He's away from his family, and his wife is actually pregnant with their child. So they're off in the Philippines, and he's here in LA training for this fight. So it happens in boxing. It was a good episode. I liked it. It was entertaining to me. I like to see Timothy Bradley as a family man. It looks like boxing and family, that's his life. You know what I mean? He's pretty low-key. He'll talk boxing. They also divulge and dive into his trainer, Bradley's trainer, Joel Diaz, who was a former fighter himself, who picked up Timothy Bradley when Timothy was like an amateur standout. And he does a lot of work with the Boys Club of America or Boys and Girls Club or whatever it's called. So that's good. You know what I mean? It's good to see that they're looking for the next future superstars because there's a lot of kids given the right direction that can do well in boxing. So it was good to see that. As far as Pacquiao, the first portion of the segment was about Pacquiao. Pacquiao was showing he was away from his family. He has a dog, and he has a lot of people in his household. Just talking about the Filipino culture a bit. And Freddie Roach was just saying that his fighter is focused. Freddie Roach also built a whole separate isolated section of the gym, like an underground section of the gym that's primarily for Pacquiao, so he can fight and be away from the maddening crowd, which is good for Pacquiao. Um, a lot of just being the superstar that he is, a lot of times it generates interest and people want to come, and all those things can be distracting. Like, um, if you're a rapper and you've been in the studio or anything like that, sometimes having unnecessarily unnecessary people in that environment is not conducive. It doesn't necessarily help you. If you're trying to make hit songs and you have 1,000 people in the studio, then and they're not doing anything, you know what I mean? They're not producing the beats and they're not mixing it down or nothing. It's kind of like, what the fuck are they there? They could distract you from the ultimate goal. So it's good that Pacquiao's in an isolated situation. Another thing I like that Timothy Bradley had done, he was doing his field work with his strength and conditioning coach, and he basically said that one thing he said that I liked. He said somebody's gonna have to pay for this pain that I'm going through, because he was doing his cardio and doing look like sprint drills. He said somebody's gonna have to pay for this pain that I'm going through, and that somebody's Pacquiao. One thing that was kind of crazy, and I've heard this a little bit, but Joel Diaz and Timothy Bradley were making it sound like they're going for the knockout. Like they don't feel they can win any other way because it's Pacquiao and based on the controversy of the first fight. So they're looking for a knockout. So I don't really know. I know Bradley has been known for not having the most punching power. So it was interesting to see, are they just throwing that out there to the public, or do they really think that Bradley has enough power to knock Pacquiao out? Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. I just thought that was interesting. So overall, a good solid episode. The next episode I believe comes on Thursday. Looking forward to that too. And let me know what you guys think if you did get a chance to catch this. I'm a little bit late. Came on yesterday. I watched it today. Sipped a little. Let me know what you guys think. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off.